This video should help you with using an area array for multiplication. A lot of the high school classes, when you get to algebra and they're doing 3x plus 2y plus 4 times 2x plus 7 would use the same kind of thing. So here's what we have. We have a problem up here that's 25 times 75. I'm going to write the numbers in expanded form. So I'm going to start with the 25. 25 is really just 20 plus 5. And 75 is really just 70 plus 5. Now what I want to do is multiply my numbers together sort of like it's a times table. So I'm going to start right here, and in this square right here I'm taking 20 times 70. So I see I've got two zeros. 1, 2 zeros. 2 times 7 is 14. So that box is 1,400. Down here on the bottom I got 5 times 20. So I got 1 0, and then 5 times 2 is 10. So that equals 100. 5 times 70, I got 1 0, and 5 times 7 is 35. And finally, 5 times 5 is 25. Sometimes they call this a partial products way of multiplying also, because now I'm going to take these four numbers and add them together. So I've got 1,400, 350, make sure you line up the ones place when you're writing these, 125, and then all I'm going to do is just add the numbers. 0, 0, 0, 0, 5, 5, 7, 4, 7, 8, and just a 1, 1,875. Look what we did again, write both numbers in expanded form, use them sort of like a times table, and then add up all the numbers that you get. Here's another one. I'm taking the 49, that's really 40 plus 9. And 57 is really 50 plus 7. And I start multiplying together. In this square I got 50 times 40. So I'm putting my two zeros down. And 5 times 4 is 20. So altogether that's 2,000. 7 times 40. I got a 1 0. And 7 times 4 is 28. 9 times 50. I got a 0 on the end. And then 9 times 5 is 45. And then down to the bottom square, I just have 9 times 7 is 63. Add up all my numbers together. 2,450, 280, and 63. And add them up. Got a 3, 6, 14, 19. Down my 9, carry my plus 1. 5, 6, 7. Nothing to carry there. 2,793. Try one more of those. 36 is really 30 plus 6. And 14 is really 10 plus 4. 10 times 30 to start with. When multiplied by 10, I always just put a 0 on the end. So I got 30 with 1 0 at the end. I got 6 with 1 0 at the end. So that would be 60. 4 times 30, 1 0, and 4 times 3 is 12. And 4 times 6 is 24. Add up my numbers. I got a 300, a 60, a 120, and a 24. If you noticed, I didn't care so much about whether I went here or here second. As long as I start with this square, that's always going to be the biggest number. Add up my columns. In the ones column, I got a 4. In my tens place, I have 6, 8, 10. Carry my 1. And in my hundreds place, I have a 5. So 36 times 14 would give me 504. You try this one out. Should have 50 plus 3 times 70 plus 9. 50 times 70, 2 zeros. 5 times 7 is 35. 50 times 9, 1 0. 5 times 9 is 45. 3 times 70, 1 0, and 3 times 7 is 21. And 3 times 9 is just 27. Add them up. I got 3,500, 210, 450, and 27. You may have noticed by now there's always only one number in the ones column. Got a 7 there, 1, 6, 8, 5, 7, 11, and a 4. Count over 1, 2, 3 spots, and my answer is 4,187. Okay. Taking a half step up here because we now went to a 3-digit number times a 2-digit number. It's going to work exactly the same way. My 256 is really 200 plus 50 plus 6. And on this side, I've got 30 plus 7. Same exact kind of thing we just did on the 2 by 2 digit. 200 times 30, I got 3 zeros, and 2 times 3 is 6. 7 times 200, 2 zeros, and 2 times 7 is 14. 50 times 30, 2 zeros, and 3 times 5 is 15. 7 times 50, 1 zero, and 5 times 7 is 35. 6 times 30, 1 zero, and 6 times 3 is 18. And 6 times 7 is 42. And notice we still only have that one number in the ones place again. 6,000, 1,500, 180, 1,400, 350, and 42. Again, notice I didn't just put them all in order from biggest to smallest because I think it's hard. Because otherwise I'm going like to this one, and then to that one, and then back to this one, and then up here, and then down there. I would rather just go down this row, and then down this row. Or go vertically if you want. All the zeros plus 2 is 2. 8, 13, 17. 6, 7, 11, 14. 7, 8, 9, 9,472. Try another one out. 45 times 208. Tried to trick you a little bit. Notice I got 3 squares across the top and only 2 up and down. Well, since this is only a 2-digit number, I'm putting him on this side. 40 plus 5. So that must mean the 208 goes here. 200 plus, I got a 0 in my tens place. Is that allowed? Yeah. Normally when we write expanded, we wouldn't put the 0 in. But for this, we are. And I got an 8 over here. So let's start multiplying them out. 200 times 40, 3 zeros, and 2 times 4 is 8. 5 times 200, 2 zeros, and 2 times 5 is 10. 0 times 40, 0. 0 times 5, 0. 8 times 40, 1 0. 8 times 4 is 32. And 8 times 5 is 40. When I go to add them this time, I'm not going to worry about these 2 zeros because they don't mean anything. So I'm just taking my other numbers, 8,000, 1,000, 320, and 40. It's going to make it easier to add this time. All zeros, 2, 6, nothing to carry. I got a 3, and 8 plus 1 is 9. 9,360. So have you tried out? 700 plus 40 plus 1. 60 plus 5. 700 times 60, I got 3 zeros, and 7 times 6 is 42. 700 times 5, 2 zeros, and 7 times 5 is 35. 40 times 60, 2 zeros, 4 times 6 is 24. 40 times 5, 1 0, and 4 times 5 is 20. 1 times 60, and 1 times 5. Let's add them up. 42,000. 2,400. 60. 3,500. 200. And then just plain 5. 5 in the ones column, 6 in the tens, 4, 9, 11 in the hundreds, 3, 5, 8 in the thousands, and the 4 in the 10,000s, 48,165. Here's another one for you to try. 700 plus 80 plus 9, 700 times 50, 1, 2, 3, 0. 7 times 5 is 35. 700 times 6, 2 zeros, and 7 times 6 is 42. 80 times 50, 2 zeros, and then 8 times 5 is 40. 80 times 6, 1 0, and 8 times 6 is 48. 9 times 50, 1 0, 9 times 5 is 45. And 9 times 6 is 54. Let's go to add them up. 35,000, 4,000, 450, 4,200, 480, 54. In my ones column, I have a 4. In my tens column, 5, 13, 18. Hundreds column, 1, 5, 7, 11. Thousands, 6, 10, 14. And in my 10,000s, just a 4, 44,184. That was the area array model for multiplication. You could use it for 3-digit numbers times 2-digit, 5-digit times 5-digit. You would just have a lot more squares to put in there, but it would work for even bigger numbers.